Your detailed narrative describes Ethan's awkward reunion with his high school girlfriend, Chloe, who is now his sister Emma's homeroom teacher. The story unfolds with humor and unexpected turns, highlighting past relationship dynamics and present-day complications. It seems you're sharing a story, not asking a specific question, but if there's anything you'd like to discuss or ask about the events or characters, I'm here to chat. The boy she likes, that she's okay, so he wouldn't worry. But Chloe and I weren't like that back then. I waited alone in the hospital with my phone for a whole day and night. Just like those people said, she just didn't like me that much. So, after receiving her message, I broke up with her and immediately blocked and deleted her. I was dispensable. I chose to forfeit. Monday, I specifically took time off to go to the school, finding senior class 1. I arrived just as Chloe had finished the morning meeting. I knocked on the door. "Hello, Miss Chloe. I'm here to get Emma's things." The whole class turned to stare at me. Chloe nodded. "Second row, last seat is hers." I walked over and realized this kid's seat was right behind Brandon. The boy looked at me curiously and cautiously while packing books. I smiled at him. Just then, another girl asked, "Brother, is Emma feeling better now?" I mentally praised her and winked at Brandon. "Don't worry, her surgery went very smoothly. She'll be discharged and back to school soon." The boy relaxed, his ears turning slightly red. I finished packing Emma's things just as the bell rang. Chloe and I left together, and I immediately saw the male teacher I'd met at the hospital. Right, he was their math teacher. This must be his class. Seeing me, he paused, nodded in acknowledgement, then smiled at Chloe beside me. "Miss Chloe, there's a problem our teachers found with a question from the last joint exam. Could you take a look when you have time?" Chloe nodded. "Sure." I felt inexplicably annoyed. Chloe walked 2 steps and noticed I hadn't followed. She looked back. "What's wrong?" I tried to hold back, but couldn't. "Nothing, just thinking Miss Chloe is really impressive. Though you teach physics, even the math teachers consult with you." Chloe said, "It's fine. When you teach enough, it's hard not to remember." Me, whose math was so bad Chloe had to explain the same problem 13 times, I felt a bit ashamed and embarrassed. All my earlier excitement completely vanished. I shouldn't have come. Yeah, teaching a dummy like me definitely isn't as good as teaching smart people. After speaking, Chloe looked at me quietly without saying anything. My heart skipped a beat. Oh no, did I sound jealous just now? Would she think I was jealous? Chloe nodded. "Emma is indeed much easier to teach than you." I was at a loss for words, unsure whether it was worse to be seen as still hung up on her or to be called stupid, so I chose to run. "Well, if there's nothing else, Miss Chloe, I'll be going." "Wait." Chloe held out her phone. "Add me on Facebook." My heart jumped uncontrollably. Then she added, "I'll send you these days' knowledge summaries and practice tests for Emma to review, all right? Seniors don't have phones." I expressionlessly scanned the code and added her. "Thank you, Miss Chloe, for taking such good care of our child." Chloe accepted the request, and text appeared on screen. "I've accepted your friend request. We can start chatting now." Chloe put away her phone. "It's my job." I didn't know when Chloe had changed to a new number and new Facebook account. After so many years without contact, when we broke up, I never imagined we'd add each other again. Her timeline had little content, giving the same cool and distant feeling as her. I scrolled for ages until Emma helplessly called. "Ethan, can I please look at the materials Miss Chloe sent me now?" I huffed and handed her the phone. Mom was peeling a banana nearby and, hearing this, couldn't help saying, "Emma's homeroom teacher is really wonderful, Ethan. Why don't you take her out for a meal to thank her?" Back when I was dating in high school, probably because Chloe was a top student, the teachers weren't too harsh. They just talked to us separately, then let it slide. Nothing like Emma getting caught and having parents called in. So my parents didn't know it was Chloe. Better not. Teachers aren't allowed to accept gifts these days. Mom took back the banana she was about to hand me. "How is this a gift? The teacher really has helped us a lot. Look, without her, Emma's grades would definitely slip." Emma couldn't keep her mouth shut. That's for sure. And my brother back then, if not for our homeroom teacher, with his grades, how could he have gotten those SAT scores? Well said. Please don't say it again. My parents were stunned. Emma knew she'd messed up and quietly went back to her practice problems. I couldn't take it anymore and briefly explained. After listening, Mom suddenly asked, "Is that girl still single?" Mom got excited. "I've seen that girl at parent-teacher conferences. Beautiful. with great temperament, more than good enough for our Ethan. Good job. Great personality, so desirable. Ethan, if she's still single, you could try getting back together. How could those blind date matches compare to someone you know so well? I dragged it out, trying to let this blow over, but Mom brought it up every few days. A week later, Emma returned to school, and my chat with Chloe remained frozen on the last physics problem set she'd sent. It was all Emma asking her questions, and she'd occasionally reply with voice messages. I secretly scrolled through from top to bottom, playing all the voice messages. After listening, I felt crazy for doing this and quickly opened the last PDF to forcefully redirect my attention. 3 minutes later, I exited, unable to help muttering, "These problems are way too hard." After saying this, I realized something was wrong. I'd accidentally hit the voice message button. I swear I've never in my life withdrawn a 3-second voice message so fast. Then a message came from the other side. "What don't you understand? Damn, just kill me. I'd thought of 10,000 ways to initiate a chat with Chloe, just not this one." I decided to give up and sent a big smiling cat emoji. "Miss Chloe, our whole family is really grateful for how you've taken care of Emma. When would be convenient for me to take you out for a meal?" Chloe responded quickly. "Today. Do senior homeroom teachers have this much free time?" But since she'd said so, I had to go through with it. "Great. What would you like to eat? Coconut chicken or Japanese?" "Chloe, hot pot." I was a bit surprised. Chloe actually had mild tastes, while I couldn't live without spice. But I didn't want to read too much into it, and simply, "Good. See you at 7 o'clock tonight." The weather was getting warmer, but the hot pot restaurant still had a great atmosphere. Except at our table. After ordering, silence. I never imagined I'd be sitting alone at a meal with Chloe again. Playing with phones would be rude, chatting nothing to chat about. Fortunately, the server was enthusiastic. "Our restaurant has a special promotion. If you can complete it, you can win a small gift." Guessing idioms. "I can do that." I eagerly agreed. Then the server brought out a plate of bok choy. "What?" the server encouraged. "Miss, you can try guessing too." Chloe glanced up and looked. "Growing old together." Server, correct. "This is our complimentary dish and our little toy. We hope you two can be happy together and grow old together." There's probably nothing more awkward than giving such a blessing to a couple that's already broken up. I struggled to explain. "Actually, we're not." "Thank you." Chloe interrupted me and handed me the little toy. I reflexively took it. "I'm too old for toys like this." Chloe extended her hand again. "Then give it back." I pocketed it for Emma. Chloe's lips seemed to curve slightly. Only then did I realize how childish I was being, my face flushing. For once, the server left with an antic smile. Then I heard someone calling me. "Ethan." I instinctively looked up to see an unfamiliar girl standing there looking at me in surprise. "Haven't seen you in years. You've gotten even more handsome." I was a bit lost. "You are?" The girl's smile froze. Chloe's cool, calm voice came. "Your ex. Sometimes I think this world is quite magical. I don't understand how I'd run into the college senior I dated for 3 days at a hot pot restaurant. And I especially don't understand how I couldn't even recognize her face anymore, yet Chloe seemed so familiar with her." I hesitated for a second. "Sorry, I have a bad memory." The girl's expression got worse, and she quickly excused herself. I couldn't help looking at Chloe. Her expression was neutral, emotions unreadable, but I inexplicably felt guilty. I really don't remember her." Chloe nodded. "Don't remember which number she was." This woman didn't talk much, but was getting better at leaving people speechless. I was a bit angry too, but looking at Chloe like this, I only dared to mutter quietly, "Just don't remember." Chloe picked up a piece of beef, then put it in her own bowl. So petty. I angrily grabbed a bigger piece of beef, grumbling quietly. "You even tutor him." What did I say? Chloe's movements paused, and she looked up. "Which problem set do you want to do? I can tutor you any time." I shivered. "Miss Chloe, that's not very nice." After speaking, we both fell silent for a moment. When she used to drag me to do problems and practice tests, she often said this. And when I didn't want to do them, I'd always act spoiled. Acting spoiled usually ended with hand-holding, and occasionally, if I did well, hugs were possible too. In this situation, I was just regretful, extremely regretful. I could only bring up Emma again. Talking about students, we could always find something to discuss. Midway, I got a message from Ryan. "Bro, barbecue." I sent him a photo. "Ryan, So love disappears, right? But then he noticed something. Wait, who's sitting across from you? I had to tell the truth. My parents asked me to take her out for a meal to thank her for taking care of Emma recently. Ryan, you're so handsome. Me. Ryan, brain dead handsome. Ryan, let me see how much your love-struck brain weighs. Ryan, how did this woman treat you back then? You forgot everything you said before. There's no chance between you two. Put down those chopsticks right now. Just leave. Me. Ryan, do you think there's a possibility that she always liked me too? Ryan, then I found this man had blacklisted me. Thanks. I put down my phone and gathered courage to look at Chloe. Chloe, why did you recognize that person earlier? She lifted her eyes and looked over. I heard my accelerating heartbeat. Even I didn't know what answer I was waiting for at this moment. Chloe and I weren't at the same university, though we'd visit each other's schools occasionally. I'm certain she wouldn't have had a chance to meet that person there. There was only one answer. Is this important? Chloe asked back. I froze. Ethan. Her eyes deepened slightly, red lips pressed together, warm light falling on her delicate features, vaguely overlapping with her younger self. What's important is, I'm jealous. I went straight to Ryan's house that night. Ryan looked at me like I was hopeless. So this woman just has to look back, and you forgive her? I sprawled on the bed in a big X. I don't know either. I know we can't go back to how things were. What happened, happened. But she's Chloe. She's the Chloe that Ethan has liked since he was 16. Actually, the time we've been apart far exceeds the days we were together. I thought time could smooth everything over, but only now do I realize those times carry completely different weight. The years without her, the moment she said those words seemed compressed into light, repetitive fragments. Only those old days with her were vivid and passionate. Actually, after we broke up, looking back at our time together, I always felt like she did like me. After she found out I'd skipped breakfast for a week to bring her food, she always brought me breakfast. When I couldn't study and felt stupid, she was never impatient. Remember Chris? When he deliberately pushed me during basketball, I didn't care at all, but Chloe got angry. It was the first time I saw her look so cold. Until graduation, Chris would take detours when he saw me. More than that, back then, I was completely focused on Chloe. Any slight coldness from her would be magnified infinitely by me. But after we separated, looking back, I inexplicably remembered many details I'd overlooked. After thinking for a long time, Ryan clicked his tongue. What luck did this woman have meeting you? How about this? Let her pursue you, spend more time together, preferably have an honest talk, then decide if you want to continue with her. I patted his shoulder. Great minds think alike. Dreams are full, reality is skeletal. You can't expect a senior homeroom teacher to have much time and energy for you after dropping that infinitely ambiguous line that day. Unfortunately, People's teacher Miss Chloe didn't launch into passionate pursuit of me. She'd just started sending Emma's grades to my parents, and then separately to me each time. Occasionally, she'd mention how both past me and current Emma made the exact same mistakes on certain topics. Except Emma corrected them in one try, while I needed many attempts. I argued, and ultimately failed, becoming embarrassed and angry. Miss Chloe, do all you good students have such good memories? Chloe was busy with assessment exams and replied that night. When it comes to you, I remember everything. Time flew to March, when Emma's class was having their comingafage ceremony. Chloe sent me a personal invitation. I pretended to be coy. My parents will go, I don't need to, right? Chloe called me directly. I instantly shot up from bed, on high alert. We'd been chatting intermittently this whole time. Saying good morning and good night had even become habit, but this was the first time she'd called. I coughed hard several times to clear my throat and sat up straight before answering. The static was minimal, amplified in the quiet night. She didn't speak for a while, so I couldn't help speaking first. Miss Chloe, she finally spoke, her voice cool and low, like a feather gently sweeping past my ear, inexplicably ticklish. I want to see you, she said. The next day, I specifically went to school with my parents. Emma looked me up and down. Ethan, are you going on a blind date after this? Emma, don't make me deal with you on this happy day. Lincoln High was a top state school, and the comingafage ceremony was very grand. The 17 and 18-year-olds were full of energy and youth. I took some photos of Emma before she disappeared. After a while, she secretly pulled me aside. Ethan, can you take a photo of us? Brandon was beside her, Probably because there were many people around. The two kids kept a small distance between them, reserved and shy. I made an okay sign. In the frame, the flower arch behind them was beautiful. My memory flashed back for a moment. Actually, when Chloe and I were seniors, our school also held a comingafage ceremony, and that day happened to be Chloe's 18th birthday. Ethan, after taking the photo, Emma came to my side. What are you thinking about so intently? I came back to reality and clicked my tongue. I was thinking this girl isn't that brave after all, standing so far apart for a photo. Emma coughed. His parents are here too. Back then, my parents also attended my comingafage ceremony, but Chloe's parents seemed busy and didn't come, giving me an opportunity. I pulled her to the rooftop. Chloe, I prepared a birthday present for you. Chloe's beautiful black eyes looked over. She always seemed to be like this, emotionless and cool, even with the field buzzing with excitement and fireworks flying, even though it was her birthday. A present, she asked softly. Controlling my wild heartbeat, I stood on tiptoes and kissed her. That was my first time kissing her. I'd planned to kiss and run, but that day Chloe somehow grabbed my hand, hugging me very tightly, and kissed back, inexperienced yet with a kind of restrained passion. Later she asked me, will you spend every birthday with me from now on? I replied dizzily. Can I kiss you every time then? Yes. To be honest, I was just giddy with happiness then. Looking back now, I feel those memories are unbearable. Poor Chloe, getting me as her first love when I was such a lovesick fool. While I was privately lamenting, a familiar, gentle male voice came from behind. Miss Chloe, let's take a photo together too. I turned to see that math teacher standing in front of Chloe. I seemed to have just finished taking photos with students, so this request seemed reasonable. I gripped my phone tightly. I'd been busy all morning, and this woman had barely paid attention to me. Now she was going to take photos with another man after saying she wanted to see me yesterday. Chloe seemed to sense something and looked over. The male teacher followed her gaze, blinked, handed over his phone, and asked with a smile, Mr. Ethan, could you help us take a photo? Before I could answer, Chloe said, That's not appropriate. The scene turned cold for a moment. The male teacher clearly hadn't expected Chloe to refuse so directly, especially for me. He paused and said, Then I'll ask Mr. Wilson to help. No need. It's not convenient, Chloe said. The male teacher was puzzled. His hand holding the phone hung awkwardly in midair. What? Chloe looked steadily at me, her black eyes calm, but her words were directed at the male teacher. I'm pursuing him, so it's not good to let him misunderstand. Holy shit. Ryan was dumbfounded. This woman plays straight ball that hard. I nodded frantically. I used to chase after her, but now with the tables turned, how could I handle it? No, you have to stay strong, Ryan paced in circles, righteously declaring. Can't be bewitched by a woman's beauty. Must continue testing her. I paused, then nodded frantically again. They're pretty busy with seniors now. For Emma's sake, I need to hold firm, at least wait until after their SATs. Ryan looked at me speechlessly. You pursued her for almost 3 years, and you're giving in after she pursues you for 3 months? I pulled out a photo I'd casually taken of Chloe on the field with students. In the crowd, she still shone brilliantly. Ryan struggled for 3 seconds. Well, with that face and figure, gotta enjoy it while you're young. At this point, he suddenly leaned in with a gossipy face. Speaking of which, did you two ever, back then? No. I spread my hands. 10 practice tests for 1 hand-holding chance. You can imagine how arduous my journey was. Ryan, I thought for a while, after the SATs end, I'll find time to have a proper talk with her. High school seemed endless, but those last few months before the SATs felt like someone hit fast forward. In the blink of an eye, it was sweltering early summer June. SATs. Chloe was responsible for escorting students to the exam, and as a parent, I naturally had to go too. Miss Chloe, Emma said, they're having a dinner gathering tonight. Are you going to? Chloe shook her head. I won't go. They'll be more comfortable without me. Oh, I coughed. Then, are you free tonight? She looked over. After a moment, she said, Yes, I have some things I want to say to you. At 5 p.m., the last exam ended. Students poured out like a tide, countless faces either laughing or crying, bidding farewell to this phase of their youth. After sending Emma a red envelope, I quickly made my exit, taking their Miss Chloe with me. At this time, Good restaurant seats were hard to get. While Chloe parked, I went ahead to get a number and wait. Unexpectedly, I ran into Sarah. She looked behind me in surprise. "Ethan, did you and Chloe get back together?" I was about to say not yet when she sighed in relief. No wonder. No wonder what? No wonder she's been in such a good mood lately. I thought maybe her students did well on the assessment exams, but then thought that probably wasn't it. Now I know it's because of you. Sarah sighed. Since her mother passed away, she hasn't had such relaxed moments. I was shocked. What did you say? Her mother passed away. Sarah was also surprised. You didn't know? It's been several years. She didn't tell you? My heart felt like it was being squeezed tightly, making breathing difficult. I asked with difficulty, when? Sarah hadn't expected I really didn't know and realized she'd misspoke. If Chloe didn't tell you, then I will. Since you're back together now, you'd find out eventually anyway. She thought for a while. I remember it was second semester freshman year, probably early May. Her mother overdosed on pills. She took a week off. When she came back, she'd lost so much weight. She paused. You broke up after that, so I thought you knew. Freshman year, early May? That's when I got injured. So I didn't dare continue thinking. I suddenly realized what unfair thing I'd done to Chloe. The parking lot was full, so I parked outside. Sorry for the delay. Chloe walked over and sat across from me, her gaze lingering on my face before her voice softened. What's wrong? I lowered my head. Nothing, just don't know what to order. She took the menu. Spicy diced chicken here is really good, and the stir-fried beef too. I suddenly asked, you've eaten here before? Chloe paused. Came twice with colleagues. I didn't speak. Chloe couldn't handle spice, even with hot pot. She basically only ate mushroom or tomato broth. Sometimes I liked teasing her, deliberately kissing her after eating chili peppers, leaving her red-faced and frantically drinking milk afterward. At colleague dinners, she definitely wouldn't actively order these dishes, much less eat them. I ordered stir-fried vegetables and pumpkin soup. After hesitating for a long time, I finally asked, by the way, didn't you say before that you had something to tell me? Chloe seemed to be considering how to begin. I don't know if you still want to hear this now, but I feel I owe you an explanation about what happened back then. She was quiet for a while, seeming to organize the chaotic memories of the past. I'm illegitimate. My heart trembled, and I couldn't help looking up at her. Her expression was calm, as if discussing something unrelated to herself. After my mom got pregnant with me, he turned around and married a woman of equal social status. In my memory, I only saw him once, at my mother's funeral. In this instant, I suddenly understood many things. Like why the perfect golden girl was always so cold and distant. Like why Chloe's seat was always empty at parent-teacher conferences. Like why on the coming-of-age ceremony day when I said I wanted to give her a birthday present, she looked stunned, then later stubbornly asked if I'd spend every birthday with her. Back then, Chloe's eyes lowered, her long lashes casting shadows. I didn't dare tell you these things. I'd never liked anyone that much before. Finally, when he liked me back, if he knew these things, would he stop liking me? What would I do then? I clenched my fists. After the SATs, my mom went to see him once. When she came back, her condition worsened severely, requiring expensive medical treatment. Chloe's voice was neutral, speaking of events from years ago as if they were from another lifetime. I was desperate then. I tried to help my advisor with as many research projects as possible, take on as many part-time jobs as possible. I was afraid I couldn't protect my mom and wasn't good enough for you. But in the end, she still left me behind. My palms hurt from clenching. I finally managed to ask, when did it happen? Chloe was silent for a long time. I was trying hard to control myself, but my voice still shook. So that day, when I messaged you and you didn't reply, when I called and you didn't answer, and I broke up with you that same day, right? Chloe still didn't speak. I remembered something else. You came looking for me later, didn't you? Chloe turned her cup, and after a long while, finally nodded. Yes. After I dealt with everything, I wanted to come back and explain, but I saw you walking with another girl. I asked quietly, then why didn't you confront me? You knew how much I liked you, Chloe. If you just said something. I didn't want to be that selfish, Chloe said. I always wanted to repeatedly confirm that you liked me, making you prove over and over that no matter what I did, you wouldn't leave me. But that day, I suddenly realized that kind of me didn't deserve that kind of you. You're wonderful. No one is better than you. So you should naturally be liked by everyone. The center of attention, not always by my side. Working so hard. My throat felt dry. It's not like that, Chloe. It's not like that. I like you. I never felt being with you was hard. You can't judge me like this. It's not fair to me. Emotions overwhelmed me, and I closed my eyes. You can't do this. You made me leave the person I loved most without even knowing. I didn't dare imagine how Chloe reacted when she saw that breakup message. I clearly promised to spend every birthday with her. I didn't keep my promise. In this moment, I didn't even know who to blame for all this. A flash of panic crossed Chloe's eyes. Ethan, she was always so sure about everything, rarely this helpless. I took a deep breath and looked at her steadily. So before, you'd rather be separated from me for so many years than say anything. Why are you willing to now? Chloe pressed her lips together. After a moment, she said, I tried to forget the past, tried not to love you, but I couldn't. When you weren't there, love grew wildly. Ethan, would you still want Chloe?